Well, Jim, speaking of shave, I'm going to try to shave. I guess not shave time, just talk about some other things before we get to Dynamite.
You used to be such a learned, articulate individual. The podcast industry has broken you.
This is the day that has broken me. This recording today has broken me. But the good thing is I'm
the one that had to crawl on my hands and knees under the desk to unplug and replug the modem and the router, or the motor and the routem, or whichever the things are. You didn't have to do that.
Well, Jim, however good or bad your day or my day or the listener's day may be, there's a chance it may be better than the last few days for Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, famous for his feuds with Harley Race, the Von Erichs, Dusty Rhodes, and Piesanos. A story emerged the other day. I'm already smiling and laughing. A story emerged the other day because Ric Flair tweeted about it. Otherwise, no one would have known.
He divined himself.
Ric Flair announced that I think he had never been as disrespected before because he got into a fight with the manager about the bathroom. And I think he thought it would go the other way. That people would be like, yeah, you can't treat Ric Flair like that. Not that everyone's first reaction would be like, all right, what did Ric do? And we made some guesses. I mean, it was a story that he wooed in a blind grandmother's face.
Well, and that we haven't we haven't gotten confirmation of that. And as well, I was disappointed because there's video now that's surfaced, and from the manager's official statement, I thought we were going to see some furniture, some chairs being swung. There was talk of chairs being wielded in a menacing fashion. There was talk of threat. There wasn't any, at least in what we saw, there wasn't any chairs swinging. There wasn't any face wooing of blind people. But it wasn't even an animated tongue lashing, because I got to be honest, folks, it appeared to the average lay person viewing it that Rick was gassed. He was pickled. He wasn't really yelling or screaming. He was barely articulating. But it wasn't security footage that we saw. It was somebody on the other side of the bar with a camera just shooting it. And it was Rick telling off the apparently the manager of the whole place. From what I heard, apparently now we can narrow it down that the kitchen manager is the one that was taking too long in the bathroom.
Right, but that is not the man that he's yelling at here.
He's yelling at the whole manager of the whole wing-dinging place there.
Right.
Or the whole pie-slinging place.
Pie, yeah, it's a pizza pie.
Well, the pizza places have wings, so they could be wing-dinging and pie-slinging. But the point is, poor Rick tweeted, as you said, he'd never been so disrespected this place. He took his whole family. He took pictures. He signed autographs. He spent $1,500, and they kicked him out of the place. Come to find out, they didn't kick him out. They just cut him off. And the reason why he spent $1,500 was because he gave the waitress a $1,000 tip for apparently only to show the manager of the place, well, fuck you, she's getting $1,000 and I'm going to call you a dipshit. And now, because he brought attention to the incident, he's put out an apology that nobody would have known about this thing, that he wouldn't have had to apologize if he hadn't mentioned it in the first place.
And it explains a little better.
I feel there was a logic lapse in that thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And, this definitely explains a little bit of the economics behind the $1,500 spent at a pizza place. He still spent $500 apparently, and gave out $1,000 originally. We'll play some audio.
But we also know they have a liquor license now. There's no question about that. So, yeah.
Well, that is another one of the big parts that comes out in the video. The manager, Rick, went right to in the tweet that everyone saw that he was kicked out. They just cut him off. They didn't kick him out. They just said, we can't serve you anymore. So that's a different story completely.
I think it almost appeared he was on propofol. I think Michael Jackson's doctor would have cut him off.
Well, let's see how this comes out. I'm not sure how it will work out on the show here because, like
this is not professionally shot footage, and the audio is somewhat sketchy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you this now. Fuck it. Everybody that's interested is going to find this on the internet. And I don't know is this a TikTok thing that you get closed captioning? It's captioned at the bottom, or is that something that the person had to do on their own, or is that automatic?
I think it probably was automated, if I had to guess.
Well, it sounds like it, or it looked like it, because, like I said, Rick was not enunciating exactly clearly. And at one point, he's telling his waiter, "You and I were good," and his waitress, "You and I were good." And then he points at the manager and he says, "And along comes dipshit." But the closed captioning said, "And along comes the Egyptian." and then people were commenting that he was making racist remarks. He's an anti-dipshitite. Yeah, but it was like trying to close caption Dusty's commentary on the Saturday night TBS show years ago. And here's dipshit over, and here's the Egyptian over here. What the fuck? They couldn't understand him.
You know, with all the problems in the Middle East today, I did not think Ric Flair would speak out about the Egyptians, of all people.
And here come the Egyptians to fuck things up totally. Oh, God damn it. Oh, God, that was so fucking funny.
Well, let's see if we can play any of this. Again, you can see it. I watched it a few times because I watched it once reading the captions, and then I actually listened to what was said. Here's Ric Flair at Piesanos, Gainesville, Florida.
Oh, good. Well, I've been there wrong, except spend money and put this place over and bring my family and friends here. That is bad for you.
Why would it be bad for me?
Well, watch social media tomorrow.
I don't follow social media.
Well, you better.
I don't get stuck on my phone.
What's your name, nut job?
Nicholas.
Nicholas what?
Hold on.
Nicholas Dickhead.
You don't have
Let me stop it for a second here. Well, Nicholas Dickhead, a.k.a. the Egyptian, is having a conversation with Ric Flair right now. Ric Flair is dressed like some magical creature that was drawn on the wall of the pyramids.
No, he's in his bright blue paisley. The gimmick that he's been wearing, he's at Piesanos. He's standing out at Piesanos in Gainesville, Florida, a very staid Republican area of the country. But that was when he said, watch the media tomorrow. He was meaning, I'm going to tweet and bury you. And he was expecting that everybody was going to.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Rick doesn't do his own tweets. And what was tweeted out also went out on Facebook. So it went out a few different places. Whoever manages his social media got a phone call, or God forbid a text, from an angry Rick saying, "I've had it with Piesanos. We got to blast them tomorrow. Let them know who's the boss."
But wait a minute. So you mean he's got somebody doing his tweets for him and they're still capitalizing every word?
Yeah, that's some sort of bizarre strategy. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just because you didn't know how to work the thing.
Well, let's go back to Ric Flair trying to work the thing over at Piesanos.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
Don't ever talk.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
You don't have to do this to me. If you really me and my family.
I'm not remuning.
I didn't do one thing wrong.
Let me stop it there because there's another thing where the translation's wrong. He's saying you don't have to do this and humiliate me in front of my family. And I guess that means cutting him off? Because again, they didn't kick him out at this point. They only cut him off. Right?
Well, and it's according to what the guy is telling him, that's the story. But, well, it's a little embarrassing when they have to come and say, yeah, Dad can't have any more fucking Coors or whatever the case.
Yeah, I'm here with my entire family. You may notice none of them are here with me right now. They're all in the parking lot waiting for this to end. Let's go back.
Yeah, that's one thing. I would think somebody in the family would have said maybe it's not worth the consternation, Rick, but go ahead.
Ric Flair at Piesanos.
Walk into the bathroom.
And you cuss on my kitchen manager.
Oh, you're a kid I accosted. Really? What world do you live in?
The same world you
What world do you live in? How did I accost him? Did I touch him?
Cuss him. You said cuss word.
I never say a cuss word. You know, is that his word against yours? I didn't say one cuss word.
Okay.
So now this goes into whatever the manager heard from the kitchen manager
Yes.
about either Ric Flair touched him or cussed him.
You know what? I think Rick, when he said you cussed my kitchen, cussed
my Kissinger.
you cussed Kissinger.
That's what Nixon frequently said.
Yes,
You cussed my Kissinger.
And often Angie Dickinson as well. But when you cussed my kitchen manager, Rick thought he said you accosted my kitchen. He said, I didn't accost him. They can't understand what each other are saying because of the potential chemical imbalances that are going on in each brain here.
Let's go back to Ric Flair's confrontation with the Egyptian, Gainesville, Florida, Piesanos.
Let's go. God. No, ma'am, I'm going to give you $1,000 tip just to say to him, kiss my ass. You walk outside here.
You don't have to be disrespectful to me, sir. We're being.
I know. You're disrespecting me.
How am I disrespectful?
Telling me to leave.
I'm not telling you to leave. We're just telling you that you're cut off.
Oh, I'm cut off because I'm drunk? Really?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's stop it there because there's really the bone of contention, I guess.
The crux of the matter.
Rick said, you told me to leave. The guy said, we didn't tell you to leave. We told you you're cut off.
Well, that may be the same thing as telling him you got to leave.
You think I'm here for the pizza? Whoa!
Yeah. This pizza was a shits. I just came for the fucking bourbon.
The garlic knots taste like crap.
The kamikazes.
No matter if you're famous or not.
Here, ma'am, please give yourself $1,000 tip.
All right, I'll let me do it.
$1,000 tip. This guy and I are so cool. She and I are cool. And along comes the Egyptian.
That's the Egyptian.
I'll say it again. You're Egyptian.
You have to get out of here right now.
Oh, I'm leaving. Trust me. I won't come back again.
Thank God.
Come outside here and talk to me like a man.
Well, let's stop it there. Now he's been kicked out.
Yeah, now you've got to leave. Well, I'm leaving. You can't fire me. I quit. But now
And along comes the Egyptian.
But now, unfortunately, he's said to the guy, well, come outside and talk to me about this like a man or whatever. And the guy's about to say, and you'll hear it, I'm not going to do that. I'm on the clock. He's not going to go out and fight Ric Flair in a parking lot. But then one of the other people at the bar, this guy gets, I'll go outside with you. What did you say to me?
This guy's been sitting there at the end of the bar listening. Again, there are other patrons there. It's not like Ric Flair's the only person there. There are other people at the bar.
This guy's 6 feet away listening through this whole fucking exchange.
And as it's happening, him and one of the other patrons that are next to him, I don't even know if they know each other, but they're looking at each other. Yeah, everyone's like, what the hell's happening here?
It looks like an old Candid Camera where Buster Keaton is doing a bit at the counter.
Well, let's go back to this audio. Ric Flair's just challenged a manager, or at least asked him to come outside.
I'm not going to do that because I'm on the clock.
Of course you are. You're on the pussy clock.
Let me stop right there. That's my favorite line.
Clock.
That's my favorite line in the whole thing. I'm on the clock. Yeah, you are. You're on the pussy clock.
Hey, you dipshit. You're on the pussy clock.
Well, let's go back to the pussy clock and Ric Flair.
I'm gonna stop.
Hey, you want to go out and talk with me in the park? I don't work here. I don't give a shit. We'll talk tonight.
I'm sorry, sir, but please stop. Please stop.
What's that?
No, sir, please stop. Please stop, okay?
What did you just say to me? What did you just say to me?
Well, let me stop it there. So a guy stands up and he says, and I love what he says. He goes, you want to go to the parking lot? I'll go to the parking lot. I don't work here. I don't give a shit.
And then The voice of reason is coming from the woman saying, "Don't do that." Is the waitress that's about to get $1,000 tip if somebody doesn't beat Rick up first, and she's going, "No, don't do that. Don't make her."
See, that's the endurance test for the staff at these places. Can we get this guy out of here in one piece before anyone kicks his ass and he doesn't give us this giant tip that he's been promising us for hours? All right, well, he's been challenged. This is almost the end here.
Excuse me.
I brought my whole family here.
I need one of those little bar straws for big spoons.
Do you know how many?
Just one.
Just one?
I'm not mad. I have no reason to be mad.
Well, that was the guy filming this ordering.
Yeah, he was asking for more mayonnaise or something. Get a cup of mayonnaise. I don't know what he's saying. Just one.
Ric Flair heard everything everyone said until the guy said, "I'll go in the parking lot with you." Then all of a sudden, what did you say?
What did you say?
What? What did you say to me?
Are you addressing me, sir?
Again, it's he put this out there. No one knew anything about any of this until he decided to bring his war with Piesanos to the public forum. And now here we are, Ric Flair. The next day, I have an article here from TMZ Sports. Ric Flair is sharing regret over losing his cool at the Gainesville pizza joint over the weekend, saying he should have just walked right out the minute things got heated. Nate joined the MJ Morning Show on Q105 to share his side of things on Wednesday, and while he does feel bad for how things went down, he also felt he needed to stick up for himself. It just escalated and I was wrong for getting mad, but I kind of felt like I was defending my position, Flair said. Flair also backtracked on his scathing review of the eatery, admitting he enjoyed his time and his meal there before things went sideways. I was wrong for losing my temper. When I feel like I'm put in the area where I'm uncomfortable and all of a sudden everything just fell apart, I got upset. I was wrong for getting upset. I probably should have just walked out the door, but it caught me so off guard because we were having a wonderful time. Then all of a sudden, someone in their kitchen said I did something wrong in the bathroom.
Say that right. Damn it, no.
And there's no one there except me and him.
Shit? Is anybody proofreading this shit? The words somebody said I did something wrong in the bathroom shouldn't have been fucking issued. God damn, the people not following the ins and outs of this case.
Oh. Well, yeah, his last comment, there's no one there except me and him, so it's a he said.
That's even worse. God damn it.
Well, what are they saying, though? What are they saying?
Well, originally the story was that apparently that Rick was yelling at the kitchen manager because he wouldn't get out of the fucking shitter. I don't know. That's what it sounded like. But the way that Rick's apology, it sounded like that it's his word against his, that he was acted improperly in the bathroom with another man. I'm not sure he's quelling this goddamn controversy. Can we get him a PR fucking team that can tweet and spell and
remember, I think he has another year left on his AEW deal at least. So we have that to look forward to.
Maybe he can get the energy drink into all the Piesanos locations as a settlement on this thing. But
that should be the spin. This is what happened when I didn't have my energy drink in the morning. And then you show that, and then the next time you show him buying pizzas for everyone and giving out $1,000 tips like he's Oprah.
I love Rick. I hate this. This is not just for Ric Flair, but it's for any celebrity or people in the public eye. Don't get fucking inebriated in public because everybody's got a camera and they want to make you look like a dipshit. And if you do have a goddamn public incident where whether you were right or wrong, you were the inebriated one, don't fucking tell people about it. Because then they'll research it and find out that you were probably the goddamn Egyptian your own self.
Never been more disrespected in his life. The guy worked for Jim Herd.
Yeah, yes.
Guy said, I'm going to cut your hair, cut your salary, take your belt. but he gave him pizza. See, no one ever said Jim Herd didn't deliver the pizza.
He delivered the pizza. Good fucking connection there. See that you can find a fucking segue to the pizza thing, but
well, we will stay on top of the Ric Flair restaurant review here on the show. Maybe he'll visit a Cuban place next week. We don't know.